Hello, everyone. We'll get all situated here. Happy Friday for all of us up here in the Northern Hemisphere. And yes. So here we are, folks. The time is flying by. That is for sure. The time is flying by. So I'm here to do a full moon card pull for the full moon in Scorpio. And we have a lunar eclipse happening as well. So to kind of start off with, I get little dings or pings, as it were, to definitely bring things up or read things. And I know that recently I have been reading some things from different books. And this morning, I read every morning from a book called The 365 Tao. And it was a gift given to me by a very dear friend. And it was before really, I think, I actually had been practicing Qigong for a couple of years by then. But I'm really getting into some Qigong studies, and this is just so wonderful in so many ways. And I read it every morning, and it's just a small little, but it's really good. Tao, of course, is the Chinese version of spirituality, and what are the pillars of that. And it's just wonderful because every day there is a new lesson. And I've been reading it since 2019 every morning. And as I've evolved, every time I read it, I get more out of it. That's how it works. So today I'm going to read from today's, since this is a full moon in Scorpio and a lunar eclipse, and all the times that I've talked about how, every full moon, every moon cycle is powerful. It is powerful. That is for sure. But all of the things I've talked about, it's really leading up to this point in this eclipse season. And the Scorpion sign, is all about death and rebirth, the phoenix rising from the ashes. So if you can imagine, we have the energy of the full moon, and then we have that energy of letting things fall away and rebirthing ourselves. And then throw in the lunar eclipse, and it just amplifies it even more so. So this is kind of like the last hurrah of really looking at what you want to let go of once and for all. What do you want to release? And I'm sure it could be a long list. There is a lot. A lot is built up in us as humans in these times and over millennia. A lot has been pushed down and shoved in corners of our soul, in the caves and the caverns of just keep it in the dark. And the more that I address some of those uncomfortable things, then it frees up space for us to love all of that part more. So the theme today in the Tao, it is resolve. Banish uncertainty. Affirm strength. Hold resolve. Expect death. Make your stand today on this spot. On this day. Make your actions count. Do not falter in your determination to fulfill your destiny. Don't allow the destiny outlined in some mystical book. Create your own. Your resolve to tread the path of life is your best asset. Without it, you die. Death is unavoidable, but let it not be from loss of will, but because your time is over. As long as you can keep going, use your imagination to cope with the travails of life. Overcome your obstacles and realize what you envision. You will know unexpected happiness. You will know the sorrow of seeing what is dearest to you cut down before your eyes. Accept that. This is the nature of human existence, and you have no time to buffer this fact with fairy tales and illogical explanations. Each day, your life grows shorter and shorter by 24 hours. The time to make achievements becomes more precious. You must fulfill everything you want in life and then release your will upon the moment of death. Your life is a creation that dies when you die. Release it. Give up your individuality, and in so doing, finally merge completely with Tao. Until that moment, create the poetry of your life with toughness and determination. Create the poetry of your life. Time is fleeting, for sure. And it isn't just as we get older, it isn't just that. It literally has sped up. In the past 3 years, things have shifted and changed so quickly that we are having a hard time keeping up, right? But we can do these things. We did decide to stay here and be here in this time and experience all that's going on right now. And we have the choice on how we're going to experience that. Are we going to continue to go down the road of the victim stories that we've been told that we tell ourselves? I'm not sure if any of you guys saw my post I just posted on Instagram and Facebook about how we battle ourselves. We give ourselves such a hard time about everything. We shame ourselves. And when are we going to stop doing that? When we make mistakes or errors or do things that maybe we realize, oh, that is something I should have done. I made a mistake. We're human. We're going to do that. And instead of us going to the old ways that we go to when we beat ourselves up, when we feel bad about things, instead of going to those things that we use to comfort us, those things keep us from really seeing why we did those things. And eventually, we're going to have to sit there and figure out why. So the more we become aware of those things, the better off we are in the long run. And it makes this transitioning of this time, this evolution, this evolving easier. Now, I'm not saying it's all going to be, wonderful bowl of cherries here, because it's not. Because we have a lot that we've been holding on to. But if we can sit and do the work, the inner work, people call it shadow work. I like to call it going into those little caves and caverns of our soul that have just been kind of locked up. We've just ignored them. We keep distracting ourselves. So just remember that we can do this stuff. We can do this work. And we're all here to support each other. That's the other lesson I feel that we're being taught here. Instead of doing it all alone, doing it by ourselves, we reach out to people. It's one of the reasons why I'm doing these card pulls and having these little sessions and talking about these things that I'm realizing about myself, because I know I'm not alone out there. I know we're all feeling some way, and it's all right to feel those feelings. Just don't get stuck in them so long. And look at them, address them as much as you can in that moment, and then move on and find that joy again. All right, so I'm going to do a 4-card, the full moon illuminating spread. So this, of course, is a spread from Colette Baron Reed's Goddess Power Oracle deck. However, I am going to use, oh, I just love it. I think you guys have heard me talk about, I have a little chipmunk, and they have been very vocal lately. I've been leaving little food out for them. And they literally were standing at my door this morning, making their little noise. And they are just scuttering around right now. I love it. So they're joining us today. The chipmunk and the birds are joining us. So I'm using Kyle Gray. I'm using his Angel Guide Oracle. And one of the reasons I decided to use this Oracle deck today is that the Angel Guide is actually made for our guardian angel. Whenever we really want to connect or know what messages of support we're receiving from our guardian angel, this deck really helps show that. It does for me, and that's what the deck was, of course, made for. So I also selected it because our guardian angel really does want the best for us. They're really there to support us. They're there in every one of our lifetimes, if you do believe in lifetimes. And they are a spirit that we've known even before we became human. So it's like our super duper spirit bestie. Okay. So they really know even the things that we don't tell ourselves or want to admit to ourselves. They know, and they continue to show us. So that's why I picked the deck today. So I'm going to just get a little shuffle here going. I actually, when I got done with my day job, I came in here and did some drumming and chanting. Asked, of course, for our beautiful spirit guides to be with us today, or whenever you're watching this, just know that they are right there with you. And then when we finish, I'm going to ring my little singing bowl, do a little something special today. And some things to remember that maybe you might want to do is write down a list tonight of the things that you want to release, things that people and things that you want to forgive. And in a little ceremony or ritual, you can go outside and maybe burn it in something safe, of course. But, just this is a really, really good time. Every full moon is good to do this. But with this Scorpio thing coming, I mean, absolutely. Absolutely. I might pull that out. Well, okay. We kind of had a jumper, but not really. So, but I'll try to remember what that was because it has a good point, I'm sure. All right. Yeah. Hello, my little chipmunk. Oh, they are. I say they because I don't know if it's a he or she. Okay. So let's get this going. All right. So as usual, if anyone's with me here, let's just kind of ground into where we are right now in this moment, on this beautiful afternoon here on the Eastern Seaboard in the United States, of course. I'll take 3 deep breaths to kind of get myself focused and tuned in here. Thank you, angels and spirit guides, for being with us on this beautiful full moon in Scorpio and lunar eclipse season. Thank you for revealing to us what we need to know at this time. We are willing to listen, and we appreciate and are grateful for your guidance. So let's get this going. 1, 2, 3, and 4. All right. Okay, I am loving that. Thank you. Oh, yeah. Okay. Yes, 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 and yes. And I'm going to take a little gander at that. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay. So here we go. So the first card is, what is the theme that needs to be illuminated at this time? What is the theme? And it's so lovely. Again, I said this was the card deck for our guardian angel speaking to us. And so I know this card because of the angel studies I've been doing. And I study, of course, Kyle Gray's decks and use them every day for the past 5 years now. So this is angelic protection. And in this card is actually showing Archangel Michael. And a lot of people are familiar with him. He's one of those big archangels that has been spoken of in a lot of the religious texts. So Archangel Michael is the angel of protection, and he is carrying his sword, and he usually has, according to some, a blue aura or a blue light around him. So anytime that you feel that you want protection, which I would think would be all the time, right? You can just kind of meditate and envision yourself in a blue light. And he has his sword and his shield here. He is the great protector. So that is a theme that needs to be illuminated. We need to continue to protect ourselves, protect our souls from things that are no longer serving us. Remember, this is a full moon in Scorpio. And when we release things, it can be very uncomfortable. It can be scary. But Archangel Michael is here protecting us, letting us know it's okay to let go. It's okay to finally cut the cords. And you can utilize and visualize him with his sword of blue light coming in and cutting all the things that you do not want to be a part of anymore, whatever those things are. It could be the way you talk to yourself. It could be a bad habit that you've been doing forever. You can continue to visualize Archangel Michael coming in and just cutting and cutting and cutting. So that is the theme that needs to be illuminated, and that is right on time and in the perfect energies of what is going on here. That is Scorpio, right? Death and rebirth, cutting the dead weight. How long are we going to pull the weight of old hurts, pains, stories? How long are we going to carry that? I'm getting tired of carrying it. I know y'all are too. Second card is, what do I need to release to move forward? And the card, this is such a beautiful card. It's Mother, Father, God. So we all have a different name for what I call creator or source. I was born and raised Catholic, and I used to call it God. And I was, of course, trained that God is a man and all these things, but it really is not. It imbues and has the mother-father aspect, both aspects, the divine feminine, the divine masculine. So mother, father, God. What do I need to release to move forward? Well, I don't know, but I think I'm actually going to read from the book on this one because I don't want it to be confusing. Does it mean that we need to release our belief system? Yes, it does actually. The belief systems that we were told, that we were conditioned with. We need to create and imagine what we really see and feel as what is our creator, what is that higher power, right? You are, and I'm going to hold it up because it's a really pretty card, right? You are connected to the power of creation at this time. Your spiritual parent is enveloping you in their incredible love and filling you with divine energy and inspiration to help you move forward. This card is a message directly from the heart of God or creator or source or whatever deity you choose. It's telling you that you are significant and precious. You are loved beyond measure, and the creator power is proud of you. You are being encouraged to have faith and know that anything is possible for you. No matter what you may be going through, you are always connected to the source of creation. Your angel guide is encouraging you to remember this now. This card is one of healing and wholeness. Whatever stories you may have heard about God being judgmental must be washed away. Divine energy could never hold a grudge against you, for you are an extension of its love. The power and presence of the Creator are not only with you, but within you. If you have ever felt that you aren't good enough, or that you're being judged, or that you haven't been the best you can be, know that you are forgiven. Angels are with you today to help create a healing wave between you and your divine parent. This card also brings a possibility of parental healing. If you would like to clear up difficult energies between you and your parents or ancestry, know that the angels are ready to help. They are guiding you to see the world through the eyes of Mother, Father, God, and to remember that love can heal anything. So that is what we need to release. We need to release these beliefs that we aren't enough, that we didn't do our best. We are always doing our best in that moment. And if you do have ancestral healing, or you have some things going on with your parents here on earth, maybe look at that and see how you can assist in that healing. What does love want you to do today? Okay. So the third card, you guys, the third card is, what lesson am I learning so I can move through it to manifest my highest good? And this one is one I just spoke about with Archangel Michael, cutting the cords, releasing the baggage that's on the baggage claim of your life. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about, folks. We've carried so much baggage. I mean, I can hear the baggage thing going and the light coming on. So cutting cords is very significant right now. That is what Scorpio is all about. It'll bring up these things that you're tired of dealing with or working with, or this person keeps coming in and doing this, that, or the other. Then it's time to cut it out, cut it off, and say no more. To cut the cords that really are not assisting you. And it can be scary. It could be an actual person. It could be a parent. But if it just isn't working and there is not a good communication going on there, then you have to cut that cord. That doesn't mean that you have to forget them or, not love them, but you can love family from afar. You can be cordial, but you don't have to get into it all the time. I'm just saying that's, I could just go on about that one. Yeah. All right. So the fourth card is, what opportunities await me? Let's see, what opportunities await us? Well, this one came out reversed, so it's a big one, and it's spiritual growth. It's spiritual growth. If we continue to clean the cobwebs out, go into those deep caverns, caves, say, what is that? Ooh, I know what that is. I don't like that. I'm going to put that. No, don't put it down. Look at it and be like, all right, okay, what? We know what. But our guardian angels are telling us, if we keep doing these things, asking for protection, knowing that we are protected, knowing that we are loved by our Creator, that all our Creator wants us to do is to be love and to do things in love. That isn't just a 1960s thing. they had a thing. It's all about love. It's not about who's right, who's wrong, who did this back in the day, and who did that back in the day. It's not about that. It's about loving where we are today and loving and accepting ourselves and everyone else right here in this moment. Not putting judgments on anyone, not putting judgments on ourselves. And this is, I understand this is easier said than done. I understand that. Absolutely. But we have to keep drilling this in our heads, in our brains, and rewiring it that we can do this work. We are here to do it. And having spiritual time, taking time for yourself, and that could be if you do go to a church and that is your spiritual path, then wonderful. Get more connected with your creator. Spend more time in meditation. Spend more time in silence. Have a time every day to connect to your source, even if it's 5 minutes. As I mentioned before, and all the time, go outside. That alone is a spiritual connection because Mother Earth and everything that it creates is here to support us for that. So spiritual growth is absolutely something that we will attain when we do these things that are not easy, right? Cutting those cords. So the card that was at the bottom of the deck is vulnerability and freedom. And that is an excellent overall feel for this card pull for this full moon and lunar eclipse. The more that we let go and shed these things, we are vulnerable when we do that. We are showing our underbelly. But when we do that, the more we do that, the more we put love at it, love in it, the more we become free. We feel freer. That weight has finally been lifted. We finally put that baggage down. So I'm really trying to keep this under 30 minutes, folks. So I'm getting closer to that mark. But I hope that this really is speaking to you. This is a very apropos time to look at what you don't want in your life anymore from here moving forward. And I did read the full moon astrology thing that I always talk about. And it was here's a wonderful mantra. Patience is trust. Trust is love. The more we have patience with ourselves, the more we trust ourselves, our true selves, what our soul is telling us, the more love comes in. Patience is trust. Trust is love. Love is all that our Creator wants us to be. That is what we were created from. Love. And we have been conditioned and told all these things to forget what love really is. And love just is. Love is loving and accepting ourselves wholly and completely. So if you can take some time tonight, just ponder on those things. What resonated with you and what didn't? Feel free to leave a comment if you want. Let me know. Otherwise, I'll be back here next week because that full moon's going to start waning. And I'm sure the energies are going to be there too, right? So be gentle with yourself. Be easy with yourself. There's a lot of physical things going on with our bodies right now. We're assimilating to all this stuff. So just be easy and know that I'm always, always sending you peace, love, and soul. Thank you always for joining me. Take care.